Today we're talking about what happens when you quit processed carbs as well as added sugars for 30 days. So the reason why I embarked on this journey was to do with the fact that I was bulking before. Yes, I got really big, really fast, but also really fat, and I didn't like it. So what did I do? Instead of counting calories, which I hate, I don't have time for it, okay? I have more important things to do than count my fucking calories. Take pictures of things. I can't do that. So what do I do instead? I do elimination diets. If I see that I'm getting fat, I just remove things, right? And you start with the most evil things first. So in my case, I said to myself, I need to get to comfortable body fat, something between 10 and 12. This is where science shows that you have the best hormones. This is where you have the most testosterone production for men. This is where you have the most potential to build muscle in a lean way. Everything is just best at 10 to 12% body fat for men. For women, I believe it's a bit higher. It's like 20%. Just have a flat stomach. What's the big deal? Just have a flat stomach and you will be the most healthy, the most sexy you can be. So I automatically got back to a healthy body fat between 10 to 12% after just a couple of weeks of doing this diet. Okay, so the reason is that when you're eating real whole foods, your body just feels satiated much more, right? It has more volume, this kind of food. Your body understands what to do with one ingredient foods. It has no idea what to do with ultra processed 15 ingredients foods, right? They are just too tasty, too delicious, and they have no nutritional value. So even after eating 2 buckets of ice cream and 1 pizza, your body is still hungry because you haven't provided any nutritional value to your body. It's not that your body wants to eat more. It's not that you need more calories. It's just that you don't have any nutrition. You didn't get any protein in. You didn't get any of those micronutrients that everyone talks about. You didn't get any value out of the food you ate. Now, when you start eating real food, whole foods, your body is going to say, hey, you know what? You actually are full right now. We got what we needed. Thank you for today. You can check out. Guess what happens if you're over 15% body fat? Your body is just going to down-regulate it as soon as you start eating real foods. Because just like you don't want to carry around all that dead weight, your body is the same. You're on the same boat. None of you want to carry around dead weight. So your body is going to distribute that into energy. It's going to prevent you from feeling too much hunger and feeling like you're in a calorie deficit. It's going to be perfectly balanced out if you just eat real foods. So, and I also want to say a little disclaimer. So there are some things that people consider whole foods that are not whole foods. So let's just get them out of the way. Bread is one of them. Bread is not a fucking whole food. Yogurt is not a fucking whole food. Cereal is not a whole food. So start reading the ingredients on what you eat. No added sugar, only 1 ingredient foods. Okay, that's the rule if you want this to work. The only time I've seen this not working is when people are cheating. Either they have cheat days where they're just putting all those unnecessary calories back in, or they are just completely oblivious to the fact that what they're eating every single morning is full of processed added sugars that is just empty dead calories to your body, and it just becomes fat. Number 2 thing I noticed is that my digestion became absolutely perfect. Now that you're eating whole foods, your body understands what it is you're doing. Like this whole notion of listening to your body makes sense now. You suddenly gain a perfect intuition of what to eat, when to eat, and most importantly, how much to eat. It's very, very difficult, I've noticed, to overeat boring foods. Okay. Also, cut out the pastas, right? That's super processed. It goes through a lot of processing. And obviously the whole processing thing is a spectrum, right? On the left hand, you have a bunch of bullshit with like 400 steps of processing. In the middle, you have something like bread and pasta that takes, over 10 processing steps. And then on the far right, you have something like an apple that you just picked down from a tree that you planted yourself, and it's been organic its whole lifetime. Now, you want to be in that part, in that segment of processing. Number 3, so intolerance to processed foods and added sugars. So basically, once you let go of processed shit for just 14 days, your body no longer tolerates that shit. Because on 2 different occasions, at 2 different parties, I had a little bit of cake. And guess what? It messed me up bad. Okay, normally, while I was bulking or whatever I called that little excuse for getting fat for no reason, I could eat a ton of cake. I could eat whatever I wanted, no issues. Now that I was being purified for just 14 days, it messed me up completely. It made me really moody the next day. I hated every single part of that experience. The pleasure just wasn't worth it at all, right? So it's almost like once you embark on the path of purity, life punishes you when you misstep. Now, number 4, I realized that bulking is a total waste of time. Just eat whole foods and get stronger instead. I think I've said this a couple of times now. Don't fucking bulk. All you're doing is you're getting fat. I met a bodybuilder in the gym. I asked him like, why do you do this? Why do you train weights? You know, he was like doing all the compound lifting, you know, getting strong and shit. And he said, it's so I can eat whatever I want, whenever I want. Ever since I was going back to the gym, I was like, wow, there are so many obese people in here. Amazing. Number 5, eating whole foods alone will not get you under 10%. If you want to get under 10%, for whatever reason, voluntary starvation is the only way forward. What eating whole foods alone will give you is to get you into a healthy body fat. It's going to make you look your best and be the healthiest, but it's not going to make you below 10% for men and below 20% for women. And number 6, you're not necessarily going to save money. If anything, you might get a taste for better and better food, and you can always buy higher and higher qualities of whole foods. Things can always get more organic, things can always get a higher quality, and that's why when you eat whole foods, it's not that you're gonna save money. People think that, if I just cook for myself, I'm gonna save so much money. No, you shouldn't be saving money. Like if you were eating at a certain budget with all that junk food and you were getting food delivered 3 times a day, and now you're suddenly finding yourself with a whole food diet, well, what you should be doing is you should take the same budget and apply it to healthy foods as well. Go to the farmer's market, go and get the best quality food you can get. Number 7, quitting sugars, the bad sugars, and all the processed junk is not gonna improve your mental cognition and your energy level significantly. I thought it would, because that's what you hear all the time. You hear all the time like, oh, I quit sugar and it improved my energy so much. I can just like fly like a butterfly now. However, if you look at the sugar-free subreddit on Reddit, you will find that there's actually not that many people who talk about benefits that much. There aren't actually too many benefits. It's just that eating all that junk food is just a bunch of bullshit. And by not eating it, you're gonna get back to your normal weight. Right? Which is something that you should be at anyway. So it's not like you're getting all these crazy benefits. No, you're just becoming more normal. You're becoming more like yourself. And if that's a benefit to you, then go for it. But it didn't, compared to something like quitting carbs totally and getting into full ketosis or full fasting from prolonged fasting and experiencing all that autophagy and feeling how your brain is just going on overdrive. Now that is something to explore. That is a significant energy difference when you do that. But quitting the processed shit alone and the added sugars is not gonna give you that. Number 8, the pleasure of junk food is extremely short-lived and it's followed by either regret, sickness, or low energy. So again, we covered this one. Number 9, many of my sweet tooth cravings were just masking my caffeine addiction. So I realized that actually I never even wanted chocolate for its sugar content to begin with. After quitting both caffeine and sugar, I realized that at least 90% of all my sugar cravings had nothing to do with sugar. They were solely based in the fact that I was addicted to caffeine. Once I broke that addiction, I no longer had these cravings. How fucking boring is white chocolate anyway? Number 10, my last words on this is that quitting sugar and processed foods was a little bit underwhelming, if I'm honest. I will do another update in 6 months, and then we will see if things change even more dramatically, if I get even more lean, or if the energy levels rise, or whatever happens. I'm gonna document that to my best ability. But if you're looking for this crazy transformation, quitting added sugars is probably not gonna give it to you. However, doing that alongside a lot of other good habits definitely would give you that transformation that you're looking for. And with that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.